All right, Soleil. Hello.
Hello, guys. Hello, Haris and Nuria.
Hi.
Do, do,
Hi.
do you hear me fine?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes. So yes, I wanted to talk with you about my sister. I have an elder sister. She's a Salafi, you know. But me,
Mm-hmm.
for people who don't know, I am a French Algerian ex-Muslim. I left Islam 2 years ago, and I opened a podcast for French speakers, ex-Muslims. And yes, I was a little upset yesterday because I was talking with my sister. She's a Muslim Salafi,
Mm.
uh, and she knows I am an ex-Muslim. She knows it. I told her, and we love each other. She's really funny. We are laughing every time we see each other. She's 30 years old, and I was telling her about. Uh, the death penalty for apostates. And I told her, "Do you know what Islam does to apostates?" And she was embarrassed, she was ashamed, and she said yes. So she believes ex-Muslims should be put to death. And I was really shocked because she's my elder sister. I love her, and we are really both of us, we are really close. And
But did you put it?
normal, yes,
But did you put it? But did you put it to context? To context? Did you say that? Hey, I'm an ex-Muslim, so basically you're saying that I should be killed.
Mm-hmm.
What did she say to
yeah,
that? Did you
yes,
put it like
yes.
that? Did you say, yeah,
I
you should
told
be killed?
her, but we are really close, but we don't we say everything we want. I told her, your brother is an apostate, so kill me. We are in a kitchen, take a knife, and she says, "Oh, you are exaggerating. I don't want to kill you. You are my brother." You know. So I told her, but it's your
So
religion.
Soleil also, by all means, have the
Yeah.
conversation, but you don't need to give her ideas on how to kill you, please.
Yeah. Not
No, but it's
because
Let's just
funny.
not.
Isn't
I
that
wanted to
ironic that?
provoke. Yeah.
Isn't that ironic that these are clear commandments in
Mhm.
Islam about murtadeen, about death for apostasy, what we should do with adulterers, how what's the role of women, etc. When I mean these are clear commandments. There's no doubt about that. It's established fiqh. I mean, it's not even the case of different issues of interpretation. It's quite
No, it's
clear.
black letter law in Islam, yeah.
Yes. Yet when you actually put them in the real world scenario and when you put the problem in front of them, they're like, I didn't think of that. Like they actually get stumped. It's like literally you say, well, 2 plus 2 is 5. Someone's saying that 2 plus 2 is 5, 2 plus 2 is 5, and then all of a sudden you give them, this is, how much is that? 2. How much is that? 2. Okay, now if you add them, what's that? Oh, that's 4. I don't know why I've been saying 5 the whole time. It's like that. They're so disconnected from reality that you ask your sister would have been casually said, I and I'm going to talk about it, like the ex-Muslims have actually made it to Indian mainstream channel and they've had like 100,000 views, and I think the actual show might have been seen in millions. But these ex-Muslim, and one of them is very intelligent, obviously, the ex-Muslim Sahil. He was pitted against 3 clerics, or well, one of them was actually cleric, the other one was like these modern Muslims who just don't know anything. Oh, Islam is love and peace, but whatever. So he put these kind of quandaries right in front of him, and they were just like they had nothing, stumped. At least these Muslims like hijab or whatever, they know what our arguments are. But on larger scale, people don't even know what they're facing with. I mean, they don't know. They really go about the business. Islam is a religion of peace. Oh, if you kill Muhammad, it's okay. But then when they see it, they're like, I don't know if I should defend it or not. No, my religion tells me to defend it. But if their child gets murdered, or if you put it in a real life scenario, if you tell them, hey, your son blasphemed, should we murder him now? No, not my son. But it's seen in the news. They're like, yep, well done. You got what you deserved.
Yeah. So what happened, Soleil, then? How did the conversation go?
So yes, we are. I was really upset. I said, imagine myself. I have a religion that says I believe that all Muslims should be put to death. Would you be nice to me? I am too nice to her. She believes I deserve a death penalty, but then we are hanging out, we are cooking together, We are laughing. I cannot go on with her. If she believes I must be put to death, maybe I am too nice. I don't know if I have to keep on seeing her. You know, I
Yeah,
wanted your advice about that.
it's really sad because it's so sad when you see Islam coming in the way of families like that, because it sounds like you have such a good relationship, you know, like any sibling is your, like, I love hanging out with my siblings, and I don't want that to not be something that is in your life anymore. Like, it feels like, you know, that these are moments that you really like enjoy and cherish. And if you take Islam out of the equation, you guys have an amazing sibling relationship. The
Yeah.
only problem is that she's Salafi, which is, you know, by definition, she has to agree word for word what Islam is. They take a lot of the literalist approach, right? So she knows her deen. She knows that it says an apostate should die. But again, you're her brother, so she's on that right path for Allah. She's thinking in the way that she's supposed to, as Islam teaches her. But from what you're describing, deep down, she genuinely like cares for you as a brother. But she's living in that stage of cognitive dissonance, you know, where you know that God has ordained one thing, but then everything in your body, in your heart, in your mind is telling you something else. So that and again, what Horace was saying is, for me, that was it actually panned out the way Horace was saying, because I told my parents the punishment in Islam for apostasy is death, and they were a bit like, oh, okay, well, I don't really think anyone should die for it. And then I was like, exactly, so like Islam says that, do you think I should be killed? Like, I'm your daughter and I'm an apostate? And they literally were like, no, no, nobody should be killed for that. Like, so they, you know, something they have in front. Obviously, we never spoke about it again. We don't talk about any of these blasphemy situations that happen. But when they see it, you know that they squirm inside as well, because usually they're such barbaric acts, and the nature of them are so barbaric. But yeah, it's a tricky one, because a lot of people who are Salafis, I know a lot of ex-Muslims who are Salafis, because usually when you read it and you take that literal interpretation, you're like, wow, this is crazy. But if you're in it and you really believe it, that's a very, very hard, like, you know, it's really hard to undo that level of brainwashing. So what I would say is, there are some like moments and times where some relationships you don't have to keep pushing that trigger. Obviously, there's a respect element. How can you hang out with your sister when deep down she thinks you should be killed? That's gonna bother you.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna sleep with one eye open if you fall asleep on the sofa.
Yeah. But I see that Islam, it makes her unhappy, really, because she wears a big veil. We call it the jilbab. Maybe you have the same. It's like a niqab or jilbab. And, you know, she looks like a Batman, you know. We're laughing. I make jokes with her about it. And so in France, people, they look at women like her badly, you know. It's not people, they don't like it. They can like women who have a hijab, they respect. But jilbab and niqab, it's too much. You know, it's like in Arabia, Saudi, in Pakistan, or I don't know.
Yeah, I can imagine also walking in the streets of France wearing the full jilbab, you're gonna stick out like a sore thumb, you know, for sure. But Soleil, this is maybe your gateway then. If you're saying Islam makes her unhappy, you know, when you're kind of planting these seeds. So you talked about the apostasy thing, and whether or not like she's thinking about that a lot, at least you've had that conversation and it's in her mind, and at some level she's thinking, oh, does a part of me want my brother dead? But maybe that's if it's not making her happy, if Salafi Islam is not enhancing her life, maybe you should start having more of these discussions on things related to like women, like her freedom and her role as a woman, and her status in Islam as a woman, and why she believes what she does. But again, I'm not sure how much she's willing to engage in religious conversation with you. I don't know if you guys just...
it always finishes bad. So we don't talk about it. And you know, she said that France, it doesn't like Islam, so she will move out. She will change countries. I said to her, where do you want to live? She said, in Canada. I was laughing. You have 57 Muslim countries. You want to go to Canada? Are you? No, it's ridiculous.
I just want to thanks for coming. I just want to wrap this up on a note that
Mhm.
I know you probably know your sister better than us, and I'm not, this is not a judgment on her, but I'm just saying we have seen the cases of friends murdering their friends who happen to be apostates, and they always knew that. So in some cases, what happens, like if someone is going through, sometimes if a Muslim is going through something, like he's going through existential crisis or something, or thinks that he's lived a sinful life or something, then there's some Muslims who actually think that, okay, there's one way, shortcut to Jannah, shortcut to heaven, if I kill an apostate, if I kill a blasphemer. So we've had these incidents as well where this has happened. I'll just give you an example. I think I wanted to talk about this guy separately. But now that we're here, so this guy was Ali Asghar. He was a known atheist and used to talk on social media. It actually made it in the news as well, but it's in Sindhi language, so I can't really read it. But so he was a known atheist on Facebook, and his Muslim friends were aware of that too. But then eventually, one of them killed him. We don't know what goes through their mind, but obviously something must have triggered. He knew that this guy is an atheist. He's known that for a long period of time. But then it happens all the time. This is the easiest way. So again, I'm not saying that your sister would do it, but again, this is for the wider audience. I'm just saying that a person could go through existential crisis, and then they might change. Something might click on in their mind. Anyway.
Yeah, it's why I didn't tell her I created a podcast and I am an activist. She doesn't know at all. In case.
I would say be careful still, you know.
Labelle is saying that too. More power to you, but be careful.
Yeah. And also, I just wanted to flag, Soleil, thank you so much for sharing this, because even Veiled Rose here is saying that I'm listening and so grateful that you're putting out stuff here that we're all burdened with, but many find it difficult to vocalize because it hurts and scares us so much. I mean, like what you're talking about is such a common theme. Like, as an ex-Muslim, how do you go about reconciling all your familial relationships, and how does it affect your relationships with your siblings or your cousins or your parents, your friends? And it's different for everyone. I mean, I literally each relationship is very, very different, and depends on where the person is themselves and what their journey's been like with religion and their standing in the world. And as I was saying, you know your sister better than any of us could say. But I would say definitely be careful, and I hope you can maintain some form of a relationship. You know, like honestly, there's so much more to life in the world than Islam. Like, have a good time, cook some food. You know what I mean? Like, do halal things.
And also there's more to life, than poisonous relationships as well. So always remember that as well. Although you should try to maintain good relationship with your friends and family who happen to be Muslims, but if they don't accept you, don't go. And I say that all the time. The world is huge, and this is probably the reason why Islam actually never really hurt me, because I lived an independent life. I lived away from family and my Muslim friends and family. So wherever I went, I made new friends, and some of those friends were far away from Islam. So it never actually had any impact on me. And this is why it's easier for me to say that, but I can't say that. I can't speak for everyone who's surrounded by their friends and family. They love them. It's a love hate, but they don't like you for not following Islam or all that. So I understand that it gets complicated, but you can. If all else fails, take a deep breath, move away, and trust me, the world is huge. You can find all kinds of friends from all different types of cultures, people who wouldn't even care, people who wouldn't even know what Islam is. So look after yourself. Thank you very much for coming to the show. Have a good one.
Thank you, both of you.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Okay, so that was Soleil again. He always comes with really good content. It kind of worries me about having a family member who holds this view, but probably you would hope in your heart that they wouldn't go ahead with it. It's not like they're gonna kill me when I'm sleeping and when I'm having a sleepover. But we know Islam can force people. Again, not necessarily for him in his case. Obviously, as I said, he knows his sister better than all of us. But I'm just saying for larger audience out there, you have to be careful. You need to sleep with one eye open. what a sad state to be.
And
That's what
it does.
Islam
It also stems from the fact that like Islam definitely like tells you to hold Muhammad in higher regard than your own family and your next of kin and your loved ones. So the hierarchy is fully established. Like you could rat out your own parents if they're not being good Muslims or if they're insulting Muhammad. I mean, there's no concept of blood is thicker than water. If you're anti-Muslim, if you're anti-Islam, you go down with the rest of them.
If you like these videos and want to support me in my activism, then you can support me on Patreon or PayPal. Stay free, everyone!